Have you ever marveled at a giant bronze sculpture in a museum or an abstract metal statue in a park and wondered, how on earth did they shape that? Metal sculptures are all around us, from small, intricate figures to towering installations in public spaces. Behind each one is an incredible process involving heat, craftsmanship, and patience. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of metal casting and shaping, revealing how artists transform raw metal into incredible works of art. Welcome to the History of Simple Things, where we delve into the fascinating history behind the little things that shape our world. To start, metal sculpture is a form of art where artists work with metals like bronze, aluminum, or iron to create everything from traditional statues to contemporary abstract pieces. These metals have unique qualities that make them ideal for sculpture: strength, durability, and a certain weight that gives them an undeniable presence. Casting, one of the oldest techniques in metalworking, is often the go-to method for making metal sculptures. But why casting? Well, casting allows artists to create complex shapes and textures that would be impossible to achieve through other methods. Unlike carving, where material is removed to reveal the shape, casting involves pouring molten metal into a mold, creating the shape as it cools and solidifies. This technique dates back thousands of years, with evidence of bronze casting in ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia as far back as 3000 BCE. Before we even get to the metal, though, there's a crucial first step: the design. Sculptors usually start with sketches, clay models, or digital renderings. This initial model serves as the blueprint for the final sculpture and allows the artist to make adjustments early on. For smaller pieces, clay or wax is often used to create a detailed, accurate prototype. For larger pieces, artists sometimes build scaled-down models or even use 3D software to visualize the work. Once the design is complete, the artist creates a full-scale model, also known as the original model. This model is typically made from wax, clay, or another malleable material. For centuries, wax has been a favorite for this purpose because it can be carved, molded, and even melted away if needed. This step is essential as it allows the artist to capture all the intricate details that will ultimately be seen in the final metal sculpture. Now we're getting into the casting process itself, specifically a technique known as lost wax casting. This is one of the most popular methods for casting metal sculptures as it allows for incredible detail and accuracy. Here's how it works. Once the wax model is finished, it's coated in a ceramic shell layer by layer to form a mold. This ceramic coating, known as the investment, will harden and eventually hold the shape of the wax model. After several coatings, the mold is left to dry and harden completely. Once the ceramic mold is ready, the wax is heated, melting it away and leaving a hollow cavity in the exact shape of the sculpture. This is why it's called lost wax casting. The wax is lost, but its form remains. With the wax gone, the mold is now ready to be filled with molten metal. Next comes the dramatic part: pouring the molten metal. Metal casting requires temperatures upwards of 1,200 degrees Celsius to melt metals like bronze and aluminum. In a foundry, the metal is heated in a crucible until it becomes a glowing liquid. Once it's at the right temperature, the molten metal is carefully poured into the ceramic mold, filling the cavity left by the wax. This part of the process is critical. Any mistakes here, such as an air bubble or uneven pour, can affect the final sculpture's quality. And because molten metal cools and hardens quickly, the pour has to be steady and precise. Foundry workers wear heavy-duty protective gear because, let's face it, splashes of molten metal are no joke. After the mold is filled, it's left to cool and harden. The cooling time varies depending on the size and type of metal used, but this part requires patience, especially for large pieces, which may take days to solidify fully. Once the metal has cooled, it's time to break open the mold. This step, called divesting, involves carefully chipping away the ceramic shell to reveal the metal sculpture inside. The process is slow and delicate. After all, the last thing anyone wants is to damage the sculpture at this point. When the mold is removed, the cast sculpture is visible, though it still looks rough. Often, parts of the ceramic mold cling to the metal, and there may be minor imperfections. Sculptors use various tools to clean up and refine the surface, getting rid of any ceramic residue and polishing any rough spots. This is also the stage where extra metal parts, like support rods, are removed. With the rough cast revealed, the artist begins refining the sculpture. This is where shaping and finishing techniques come into play. Sculptors use tools like chisels, files, and sanders to shape and smooth out any areas that need it. For intricate sculptures, this stage can take hours, days, or even weeks to complete, depending on the level of detail required. If any extra elements are needed, such as delicate hands or facial features, these are often added separately using a process called welding. Welding involves heating two metal pieces and fusing them together. It requires a steady hand and a keen eye, as even the smallest addition can alter the sculpture's balance and appearance. One of the most fascinating parts of metal sculpture is the finish or patina. A patina is a thin layer that forms on the surface of the metal, either naturally over time or artificially through chemical treatments. Bronze, for example, can develop beautiful greens, blues, and browns when exposed to certain chemicals. Artists often apply patinas deliberately to give their work a unique look, adding character and depth to the sculpture. Finally, the artist applies a protective wax coating to seal the patina and guard against weathering, especially for sculptures destined for outdoor display. This coating preserves the patina's color and ensures the sculpture can withstand the elements for years to come. And there you have it, the incredible journey from raw metal to finished sculpture. It's a mix of art, science, and pure craftsmanship, requiring skills that have been passed down through generations. The next time you see a metal sculpture, take a moment to think about the intense work, heat, and passion that went into creating it. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of metal casting and shaping. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.